How to edit like Iman Gadzhi. Hello and welcome to this video where I will show you how to edit like Iman Gadzhi. Let's make a to-do list. We're going to create a motion graphic animation and we're going to be using After Effects. Okay, so before we get started, what font does he use? He used the FFX Galaxy and the Proxima Nova. If you need any help, make sure to join my Discord in the description. Alright, so we're inside of After Effects right now. So the first thing that we're going to do is upload this background which I found on YouTube. And then we're going to be adding some Gaussian blur. We're going to turn the blurriness to 5%. Then we're going to grab my thumbnail picture, which we'll be using, and then resizing it to fit. After we've done that, we're going to be adding the basic 3D effect, which is something that Iman uses a lot. We're going to change some of the settings on the swirl and the tilt. We're then going to add a simple drop shadow. We want it to be sort of 3D, so we're going to be keeping the softness on about 90. Alright, so we're now taking in the other picture and we're going to be aligning this to the right of our first picture. Then we're going to copy the drop shadow and just paste it on that layer, and we're going to copy the basic 3D and just paste it on that layer as well. We're going to be changing the swivel a bit because we need to adjust it so it looks nice. What we need to do here is that we need to play around with the distance to image. We need to do this because when you're using 3D, we need it to look like it's going deeper in. Alright, so I'm just making adjustments, so just follow my settings. I'm scaling it a bit more up and then adding a bit more distance. Okay, that looks pretty good. I want to take the distance to about 80. Alright, nice. So what we need to do now is that we're going to be drawing a line with our pen tool. This is a pretty simple process, so just do as you like. Then I'm going to drag it upwards because we're going to be having our text there. Then what you want to do is that you want to go in the settings and put it on round cap. Then you want to add a trim path. And once you have added a trim path, you want to keyframe some positions. And you want to keyframe the end and put it on 0. So I'm going to have some seconds between this, and then I'm going to put it on 100. As you guys can see now, the line is appearing really smoothly and nicely. Alright, so I'm going to be adding something called glow, which will make this look a lot better. Just follow my settings. I'm putting the glow radius on 55. And then I'm going to be adding something called posterized time. This will make this sort of a better experience to watch. It will make it sort of look cooler. This is an effect Iman uses a lot, so make sure to use posterized time on your animations. Now moving on to the text. You just want to have your basic text like this, and I'm going to be using the paragraph function to make it look better like this. Alright, I'm going to probably take away subscriber and then just write subs, but I'm just going to see how this looks first. Alright, so we want to change the line, like how much of the line is in between here. I'm going to be dragging it up like this. And just like that, you can just copy my settings, but I'm really happy with that. So I'm now just dragging up the text and just making sure that it fits. I'm just going to copy the layers like that. Copy the effect onto the text layer. Now you can see the line looks really nice and it's sort of like lagging a bit. That is because we used to posterize time, and you want to put the FPS on 12 when you're using that effect. We're now creating a simple opacity animation for our text. We're going to be starting with 0 and putting it on 100, and we want it to be fairly fast. The next effect we're going to do is going to be a simple gradient ramp. We're going to using these settings that I'm displaying right now. And the key here to have is that I'm just going to be using sort of like a black and white. So I want it to be darker at the bottom. I'm just dragging sort of the distance of the gradient until I get what I like. Then we're going to be using the wave warp. This is used in basically all of his effects. Here are the settings I'm using. I'm using the wave height to 2, then the wave width to 50, and then I'm changing the direction. This creates a bit of movement, which I think is really, really nice. And I'm gonna putting the direction on like that. And just like that, that looks really smooth. Alright, so let's move on to another effect. Yeah, but first let's just write subs instead of subscribers so we can make it a bit bigger. I'm not that happy with how the pictures are standing, so I'm going to be making some adjustments like this until I'm happy with the results. Okay, I'm going to be taking the stroke width on the line a bit up because I want it to be a bit bigger. So I'm going to be putting it on about 35. Alright, that looks really nice. Now I'm also just adjusting the pictures a bit to my liking. This is really just a game of getting to the perfection and just playing with the tilt and swivel. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the whole process of me creating this because it takes a bit of time to get everything the way you want it to look. So that is why I've sped up this part a bit. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to selecting every of the layer and creating a pre-composition. You want to select all of the layers but not the background. The background needs to be separate. So once you have created a composition on all of the layers that you need to have in movement, you're going to drag the position to the right and then create a positioning keyframe. And then you want to find where you want it to appear and then drag it in. But this looks pretty slow and looks not that good. So I'm going to be dragging this position keyframe out and I'm going to just make it better like this. Okay, I think that looks a bit better. And you can also take the keyframes to easy ease out and easy ease in to make it smoother and just make it look a lot better. If you guys want, you can use the posterized time effect on the pictures as well if you want that laggy FPS look. And for the last part, we're going to be adding a CC vignette on the background so we can get the main focus on the pictures. So yeah, just follow my settings. I'm putting the amount on 356. Then changing the angle and the center settings so we can get all of our attention in the middle. And that is how you do this effect. Make sure to subscribe and like the video.